All right, it's district breakdown time. We are talking 10-5A Division One with my guy Jon Poorman from the Houston Chronicle, and a big celebration was a big cheer or shout out in realignment day at the Houston ISD shops when they found out Galveston Ball was not back in their district, and now we have legitimate. Just about anybody can compete for those four playoff spots, but I'm gonna put you on the spot and tell me who you think are going to compete and maybe come out of there in this district.
Yeah, definitely having Galveston Ball out of there helps. They went 16-0 in this district and really did not have any competition at all. No one was even close to them over the past 2 years. So, the district title is there for the taking for some of these teams that remain. You know, Looking back at last year's standings, we had Madison, Sterling, Waltrip, all with really solid seasons. I would expect all of those teams to be in the mix for sure. Westbury is a really interesting addition because they're coming down from 6A, went 4-7, I think, last year in Class 6A. So I think, with them being one of the bigger schools in that district now, they can definitely be competitive. And then Spring Woods is kind of in the same boat. They came down from 6A after playing, in a really good 17-6A district with, Stratford and Memorial and Cy-Fair and Jersey Village and all those schools. So, those are kind of, the five teams I'm looking at. I think Galena Park should also be very competitive. And so it's going to be interesting to see, how those playoff spots kind of play out and, more importantly, which team can rise to the top and claim that district title throne.
Yeah, it should be interesting around weeks, 10, 9, 10, and 11, because then all of a sudden you start feeling like you actually have a shot for the playoffs. Maybe a team like Spring Woods who was taking a beating up there in 6A. Let's be honest, they were getting beat pretty good by Stratford and Jersey Village and those teams like that. And if they get around to week 8 or 9, they're seeing a pathway to get to the postseason. That may spark some interest there and put them into another gear and make that run to the playoffs. But I am going to put you on the spot, John. Go ahead and give me your four teams in May that are going to make the playoffs out of this district.
Let's see here. Well, I'm gonna go Madison, Sterling, Waltrip, and Westbury. I'm keeping it HISD. I think you know these teams all had solid seasons last year. While I think Springwoods could be competitive, I want to see it first. They haven't had recent success, and so but it would be a really cool story to see Springwoods kind of turn it around with them dropping down from 6A. They have a chance to certainly be more competitive, I believe, and especially in this district. And that would be really something to see the Springwoods Tigers get into the playoffs. But for right now, I'll on the spot, I'll go with Madison, Sterling, Waltrip, and Westbury as my four teams. But really, I think that this is kind of a six-team race for those four spots with Galena Park in there too. And I wouldn't be surprised to see any of those, any combination of those six get into the playoffs.
It should be an interesting race to the finish, and then trying to figure out how they get a playoff win. That's another story. But getting to the postseason is the first thing. All right, John, we're going to talk 11-5A Division One next week. I appreciate you joining with us.
Sure thing.